Good afternoon, welcome to Planet Mojo. This afternoon, I need to get this ditch raked up into piles or something. Not 100% sure how I'm going to do this. In years gone by, I raked from that side down to the center and this side down to the center, and then I just had a long patch of stuff down in the bottom there, and then I just lit that on fire. But now I have the prairie grasses started in the back, and it looks like I'm gonna have to just, well, actually I can just go around them. I don't have to burn those. I can just cut those down and burn them over here. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a different burn this year. I got to get this thing ready for planting, even though that's a few days away. Today is the least amount of wind in the last like 10 days, so I'm hoping to get this burn done. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this area, and that side oats grandma, that has to be burned. And then I got to get in there and burn the rest of the prairie patch as well. So I think I can get this raking done pretty quick, and then we'll start burning this stuff. Hopefully it won't get dark on us. Once everything's burned, I'll be able to see what's all there. All of this green stuff are weeds, and I want to get that killed before everything else starts growing. Yeah, they're all over the place. That's onion that I planted there a few years ago. I think I'll spray right around that. But there's a good amount of grasses, and this right here, that's wild carrot. Definitely want to get that out of there. This is hollyhock. Want that out of there as well. Yeah, lots of bad stuff in here. All right, let's get this raked as good as we can and start burning. Yeah, that really got the last of that stuff that was matted on the ground. And that's what you need. You need a full burn. Still got some here and a bit over there. This is mostly ground stuff, but I'm gonna light that as well. I'll get the rest of this burned, and I have a water hose down there. I think I'm gonna spray that box, get that box nice and wet, and start burning that pile right there. That pile's gonna make a big blaze for a very short while. Hopefully it doesn't melt the box at all, because obviously it's not our box, but I can't let that pile get any bigger. I still have almost half of the vineyard to prune tomorrow, and I don't want it going on top of that pile. We only have a few places where we can burn, and that's one of them. And actually we lost the other place that we were burning on the other side of the vineyard. That is all grassland now, and will light on fire if we burn there. So the options are limited. I really need to get that pile burned. So as soon as we get this done, we're gonna head down there and deal with that. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, this is the perfect time. There's barely any wind. The neighbors here just took off. I'm sure they're going to one of the parents' houses or something. This is going to be a pretty good blaze. Hopefully this horse does not freak out. What I'm gonna do, the water's already hooked up, so I'm just gonna wet this stuff down over here and torch this sucker up, and we should be just fine. At least that's what I'm hoping. All right, let's get this done. If you follow the channel, last year I put this sanitary hydrant down here. I switched this hydrant for the one that was up, well, this one was up there by the shed. I swapped the one that was down here for that one, and I put another one in. 3 hydrants last year. What you got to do is let this run for a minute, and then you pull that. We don't really need to do that because, well, I guess we do. I'm gonna drink out of it. So hopefully I'll be able to stand right over here. Like I said, this pile is gonna make a big blaze, but it's only gonna do so for a short while, so hopefully it doesn't get too hot over here. All right. I'll turn that back on as soon as I get it lit. It's not even that hot. Well, maybe it was at first, but right now it's just burning nice and slow. There's vineyard waste underneath there, and that should be pretty dry. If it's not, it's going to be drying out right now and burning, so this may burn for a while. You really want to have all of the vineyard waste burned before your plants start budding out the next year. That way you're getting rid of all of the pathogens that were on last year's stuff and not introducing or reintroducing that back in this year. The only pathogens that your vineyard should get in the current year is airborne, or, on a bird's foot or something. You don't want to have stuff in there from last year to reinfect your vines. There's always some pathogens in your vineyard. What you need to do is keep the amount down to where it's manageable. If you let it get out of hand, your entire crop can be ruined. Come on, this is all grapevines over on this side. A lot of that stuff on the other side was the foxtail that I dumped in here the other day. All right, I think I'm gonna go get the torch and get this back part burning. Whatever is burning, I gotta hang around until it goes out. So I'd like it to burn as fast as possible. Yeah, it's burning really good back there. Good, good, good. Branches from the apple tree, cherry tree. Well, 2 apple trees and the cherry tree. Looks like they're going to take a couple burns to burn down. This horse is freaking me out. He didn't show any fear whatsoever. That's our new horse, Max. Natalie's saying he's 17, but he looks older than that. I'm going to guess he's at least as old as Blue was. He's another rescue. We're going to do a video on this and we'll introduce you to him. But he injured his leg the day we got him, and now he has, it might be infected. I'm going to have to check that tonight and see if the wound is hot, but I don't want to get kicked either. Natalie said he was doing some kicking, so that's going to kind of suck. But you got to feel the wound and see if it's hot. And if it's hot, he's got an infection, and we're going to have to get some antibiotics. Okay, we'll let this fire die down, and then I'm going to drive along this and make sure everything's out along here. And that should wrap this up. All right, that completes the burn for this year, and it's actually still going down there a bit. I'll take a walk down there and see what we got. This right here, this, and that, those are all June grass. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I believe it's June grass. I know that is. Those are going to be staying, but there's a lot of grass in here like this. Oh, maybe that's June grass as well. But there is a lot of grass in here, this whole bottom part right here. Everything around these, I'm going to have to go in and spot spray all this stuff, because this is growing up as just, it's regular lawn grass, and it's growing up pretty high towards the end of the summer, and it shouldn't be in here at all. Now you can see these are the ones that I want. This is Canada rye, and what was the other one? 2 different kinds of rye in here, and everything else in between these big clumps is a weed. So I can get in here and hold this stuff aside and spray the rest of it. Get rid of it. The fire singed these here. These are from when we first moved here. I'm really not all that fond of them. They're white and they just look out of place, and they're not a wildflower. So at some point I'd like to take them out, but I really never have the heart to do it. They are growing really good. You could see all the bulbs here. These could use splitting too. But again, I really don't want them in here. But we'll leave them for this year. This is June grass, and if I brush it aside, I can spray this, which is not June grass, and neither is this stuff down here. Got a lot of grasses in here that need to come out. And that's because any of the water draining down through the ditches comes right through here, and you kind of get what seeds wash into the ditch up there. These are all my prairie drop seed. Those all did fairly well last year, but you don't expect them to do super well on their first year. They say that prairie drop seed takes 3 to 5 years to get to its full mature form. And that's kind of the way it is with trees and most of these other prairie grasses. Like little blue stem hits its stride at about 3 years. Like that patch right there. That went through its 3rd year. This will be its 4th summer. And it's going to look fantastic this year. All of this right here, this is all weeds, And wherever I have one of these red stakes, we have purple coneflower that I'm going to be taking out of here. There's way too much purple coneflower in this garden, and it just gets so massive and it falls on everything else. It doesn't look like much now, but that's why you mark it at the end of the growing season, so you know what you want to do the next year. And again, everything you see right now that is green has to go. It's all weeds. I'll be seeding this entire front again, and a little bit up onto the side, and in that big garden right there, I'm going to be seeding for the first year. I'm going to seed annual wildflowers in amongst the grasses as well. The grasses have big enough roots. There is no way that the wildflowers are going to overtake them. So it should be a real good show this year. All of the warm season grasses are still dormant, and these right here are cool season prairie grasses. I believe this right here is Canada rye, and there might be silky rye in here as well. I can't remember what I planted there. That's the only cool season native grasses that are in this garden. Everything else that's green right now should be killed. It's just a weed. All this stuff is weeds. Yeah, I'm going to toss a bunch of annual wildflower seeds in amongst these grasses, and in about a month or so, these are going to start greening up. All of these, right in the center, you'll start seeing green, and then these are just going to grow massive again this year. Well, bigger than last year. Yeah, this looks real good. Nice burn. The burn itself killed a lot of stuff. There won't be too much of a need to go in here and kill other stuff, but here and there, like this stuff right here, that does not belong. At some point, this entire thing is going to be native species, and I won't need to do much of anything except burn every 3 to 5 years. Okay, that's pretty well burnt down. I'm going to toss that stuff on the outside ring on top of here. Let this burn for a while longer, and then take the hose and put it out. So, to make sure you don't miss any of this prairie garden goodness this summer, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Hi, kitty. I only have a minute. I'm doing internet stuff. Okay.